Welcome everyone to the Preserve Championships, part of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. We're out at the Black Bear Disc Golf Course at the Airborn Preserve Disc Golf property in Clearwater, Minnesota, in the final round, the FPO lead card. I'm Sarah Hokom here with Juliana Korver, here to call the action.
Kristin Tattar has a sizable lead. The hunt is really on for second place. We have Hailey King, Sarah Hokom, and Paige Pierce on this card.
Not far behind would be Jessica Weiss, Katrina Allen at even, and then Rebecca Cox and Lydia Lyons, who we saw yesterday on the coverage for round 2.
This is hole 1. The hole is defined on the left by OB water. Staying out to the right is safer play, but that makes the second shot a little bit longer. Most people, regardless of where they are on the fairway, should have a chance to get under the basket for a potential birdie on this hole.
Air quality has improved today. We weren't sure we were actually going to play this round, but we're very excited to get a full event. Kristin up first, throwing the Grace.
Very safe on the right-hand side. Good distance.
And she probably doesn't need all the distance she can get in order to get to this pin.
No, not even close.
Hailey King.
Hailey lining up a Zeus.
Also staying along the right-hand side. No danger whatsoever.
Puts a nice little Annie move on that Zeus.
Caldwell, Idaho. Give it up for Sarah Hokom.
I'm lining up a Hokom signature trace.
And from Plano, Texas, please give a warm welcome to Paige Pierce.
Paige also lining up a Zeus. Oh, misses her line right off the bat. Needed to push that a little more right.
There is an OB line drawn along the grass here.
And she finds it, saying that she has actually never seen the OB line on that left side and didn't even know that could be a thing. So a critical miss on this first hole. I'm throwing a shock.
Just on the edge of the circle.
Hailey going zone.
A little short, right on line. Shouldn't be a problem for Hailey.
Had a bit of a crosswind on this approach.
It was hard to tell where the wind was coming from today.
Yeah, again, swirly winds, as was characteristic of the second round.
Looks like the wind might have knocked that one down a bit. You can hear the wind.
Paige from her OB lie, throwing her third.
Oh, the wind knocked that one up. Oh my gosh.
With
Oh my gosh, 2 OPs.
a really unfortunate hit and roll out of bounds.
Boy, that's unexpected.
And now a very long putt, which she lays up for that'll be a double bogey for Paige. Kristin looking at a birdie from outside the circle.
Kristin putted so well from outside the circle yesterday.
Yeah, she had 3 circle 2 makes yesterday and 2 on the first day. I'm just outside the circle.
I liked the line.
Me too. A little bit of swirly wind. And Hailey for birdie. Another miss. And here's my par cleanup.
Oh, this basket today.
I would love to blame the basket for that one, but I don't think that counts. Kristin for par.
Oh, no.
Chain out left. Yeesh. Okay, Hailey. I feel like Hailey's going to get this done for us.
There we go.
Hailey carding the par. And the rest of the card will tap in bogey or worse.
What a start.
Ugh. Yeah, we all walked away from this thinking that we wanted to redo this hole. Yeah, you can see Paige expressing her disgust.
Hole 2, 280 feet, par 3. This little hole features a double mandatory right off the tee. A righty backhand shot has a nice right side gap that can go through the trees with a straight line and a little fade at the end.
Hailey up first with a zone. Again, releases a little
Really
high.
again, yeah.
And she did that the first 2 rounds as well. This time the kick leaves her far left, well short of the pin.
Oftentimes double mandatories are awfully intimidating, but this one is so close to the tee that it's not even in the forethought.
Kristin going with an Opto Pure.
Slow down.
She peers the gap, but leaves it a little long for a tester on the way back.
Beautiful line.
I'm lining up a relay from the far left corner of the tee. It is not really a sidearm hole, but I'm trying to make it one.
Boy, you did a good job of it.
Inside the circle for a putt for birdie. Paige lining up a fierce. Late release leaves her left and early. This is a Raptor.
Oh, that was a little off the line too.
Looking for that to be a little farther left, maybe more flat. Hailey pitching up with a buzz, catches a little foliage, but leaves her a really just short putt for par. Paige from well outside the circle for par.
That tree might be in her way on the comeback.
Yeah, definitely a tester at that point. Looking at a birdie.
Did you hit both the top and the basket?
It felt good. Whatever happened, it felt good, and it didn't go in. Paige coming back for her par.
That's a nice shot.
Oh, bogey. Pardon me. Bogey. And Kristin for birdie. A little chain left.
There we go.
So no birdies on the day for this particular hole on the lead card. However, it did have 26% birdies on the other cards. So lead card has got a little bit of some issues going on the putting green that we're hoping to resolve.
Well, hopefully they can resolve it in this one. This is a par 3. This is a hole 3, 324 feet. There's nothing in the way of the basket, but a drive that fades too much will find itself on the lower side. You can't really tell, but it falls off to the left-hand side, and there is OB over there beyond the cart path. Shouldn't be a problem.
Hailey going buzz.
That looks good.
Nice wide on the right side. But that little, like that knoll you just mentioned, it just trickles down there even from just very close to that edge. Kristin going verdict. Another straight mid. Puts a really nice move on it. And in a similar position. A little bit short, but on the upper part of the slope. Going trace.
In the circle.
Paige going buzz. Puts a little Annie on it. Trying to adjust from the other competitors. But again, just kind of trickles down that slope. Leaving a kind of a challenging putt on the elevated basket. Hailey up first for birdie. And we've got a straight headwind, which typically will drop a push putt, but lift a spin putt. So Hailey's push putt just dropped a bit, but Paige
Oh, nice shot.
catches it high, but gets the birdie. The signature Paige putt flip. And top link is
that was
good
close.
enough. Kristin for pot for birdie with a bit of a crosswind.
This played as the second easiest hole of the day. Oh no.
I felt like that was good.
That looked good.
We'll resign to a par. But par is pretty good out here in general. Usually I'm okay with a par on a course like this.
Especially on a really windy day like today.
Hailey also tapping in the par. Paige and Kristin getting a stroke on the card.
This is hole 4. It is 675 feet. It's a par 4. It looks like you need to turn your drive from left to right quite a bit off the tee, but that isn't required, as the straighter shot might actually give the player a better line to this tunnel, which then goes to the basket. Once you get inside the tunnel, you still have a little work to do, as the basket is positioned quite a ways back.
Kristin up first with a St. Pro. Gets a big turn.
Oh my gosh, what a great drive.
Yeah, and she's thrown past the hole for the gap to line it up exactly straight. So that actually sets up for a nice hyzer.
Exactly.
Paige lining up her passion. Wow.
Another great shot.
Good forward movement. I actually thought she threw that a little bit too high and turned off the tee, but it seemed to straighten out really well, leaving her a good look at the gap. Hailey going with a heat. Little cut roll, leaving her an Annie look through the gap.
Or maybe a layup.
Maybe. Throwing a trace. Hailey up first, putting an Anheuser.
That was a gorgeous shot.
And that looks like a stalker that she just peered the gap with. 20-footer for birdie. This is a crave.
Nice.
Paige lining up a soul.
Also finding that gap.
And Kristin with the most favorable lie.
A little wide right.
But kicks to the center. So it should be a simple approach shot to get her par. Lining up her harp with her sidearm. She's very proficient at the sidearm approach shots. But this one she leaves a little bit of a tester on the right. Paige from about 50 feet. Good birdie look at it. There were no birdies yesterday on this hole. A couple birdies the first day. And Paige and I both narrowly miss the birdie. Hailey still with a look from 25 or so. Cash is in. The only birdie on the day. Kristin with some work to save her par.
No.
Another chain left. So that's 2 misses for Kristin in 4 holes, and she really only had 3 misses the whole rest of the tournament, or 5 misses the whole rest of the tournament. So a little bit uncharacteristic for her, but she has so many strokes to burn.
Right. This is hole 5. It's 695 feet. It's a par 4. Players are trying to clear the first gap on their drive. The conservative play will then be to lay up to the opening of the second gap, which we cannot see yet. Here's the second gap. Lay up here where this grass tee pad is, and then shoot down the middle. The more aggressive play, of course, is to throw around the corner and try to bite off as much of this distance as you can, hopefully giving you an easy approach to the pin. But nothing about this hole is easy. This is an extremely difficult par 4 that plays much, much harder than the given par.
Hailey with a stalker pushes it a little bit right and gets caught up in that rough.
As expected, this is played as the first most difficult hole for the day.
Paige going buzz.
No.
Another miss into that sumac on the left. Does not get the kick out. Throwing an electron matrix. And leave it with a little bit too much hyzer, and I'm in the deep rough on the right. See if Kristin can throw a good shot. She's got a St. Pro in her hand. Again, a bit of a miss,
Oh,
and
I thought
kicks right.
that had a chance to fade back, but hits a tree instead.
So we are all in scramble territory. Yeah, another miss. Paige with an undertaker. Really nice line. She executed that sidearm really well from her position. I really like that shot.
Looks like she should be in a good position to go down the alley from there.
Kristin pitching out with her harp. This is a crave trying to lay up to the gap. With my third shot.
Great line.
Hailey with the zone, also pitching out off the tee.
She should also have a pretty good line. A little bit of a turnover, but she should be able to bend something around there.
Kristin with an aggressive line with her grace. Penetrates the gap, but is on the right side, well short of the pin. Hailey also with an aggressive line with her buzz, turns it over a little too much and kicks into the woods.
Oh, that's an unfortunate.
Paige with a soul, trying to make an adjustment with that back foot to give herself some room. Just can't get enough turn on it and kicks into the woods on the left. This is a reactor. I leave a little bit too much hyzer. Off to the right woods at the edge of the circle. And Hailey with a zone, looking to recover. Is it outside the circle on the right side? Paige with a fierce.
Did that hit a tree?
Yeah. Unfortunately, this final gap this final tunnel has really wreaked havoc on our card at this moment. Kristin with a sidearm recovery shot leaves it really close to the basket. Paige with a buzz. Puts up a small putt. Hailey from circle 2. She made a couple of those late in the round yesterday, but so far has not made a circle 2 putt. I'm also edge of the circle. Annie look.
That's a tough shot.
Paige tapping in the double, which is kind of like a single.
Single, yeah.
That's like a single. I mean, I know it says double, but
I think everybody considers this a par 5.
Hailey also the double or single. However, Kristin recovered much better off her tee shot and only had a single bogey or par, as we might like to say. I'm also going to card the double or single. I don't know what it is anymore.
When I walk up to the tee, I have these game plans. I know where I want to land. I know the distance to the basket from those positions. I think I'm going to land in these same areas every single time, but you never know. I know how far I am. I know the height now. Having the Bushnell Range Finder, no matter where I land, gives me that extra level of confidence.
In this game, preparation is everything. It gives you that edge to become something from nothing. Success is not by accident. Because you know, the course plays no favorites. You know what it takes to be the best. In this game, detail matters. Idio Sports.
Hole 6, 390 feet, par 3. Another straight or flex shot off the tee. There are quite a bit of branches that could reach out and grab a disc that skirts either of the edges, but there's not serious trouble. This hole plays a little bit longer than it seems.
Kristin up first with a grace. A little low.
There's some really weird skips on this hole because of all the undulations in the ground.
Lots of humps on that ground.
Yes, it's hard to walk on this hole.
Hailey with a Zeus. Little low and turned. Ends up in the right rough.
There was a pretty strong left to right wind on this hole, at least out in the open from when we're throwing. The basket is much more protected.
Yeah, the flag on the basket is not showing the wind that is present.
It's a good line.
Paige also with a Zeus. Getting it way up there. Short putt for birdie. One of the more difficult birdies on the course, just sheer distance. I'm throwing a trace. And I found some super brambles on the right side. I've been there before. Hailey with her making moves Luna. Pitching out with an envy. And Kristin, who made a 40-footer yesterday, has a much shorter putt and also gets the birdie. Paige also with a relatively short putt gets the birdie to match. Kona Star Panis also got the birdie on the day. Hailey and I tapping in our pars.
Hole 7, 960 feet, par 5. This picturesque hole borders water on left and woods on the right. There is at least a couple of shots before you have to worry about this grouping of trees right in the middle here that obstructs the view to the basket. People can go either to the right, a little bit shorter route to the pin, or take this turnover left to right fading shot into this sloped green. There was a predominant left to right wind, pretty strong today, so it was making that turnover shot, if you were throwing a backhand, pretty difficult.
Kristin going grace. Right to the corner with the fade giving her a little bit shorter look. Paige with a Zeus.
So there is no OB line drawn along the tall grass here, so you could end up in the tall grass and be safe. You had to be in the water on this particular hole to be OB.
Hailey, following suit with a Zeus, turns it over a little bit and ends up in that right side rough.
Oh, she popped in front of it.
You know what? I didn't even see that. I was on the card. Throwing a cosmic trace.
That's nice.
And another cosmic trace. This one is just kind of like boom, boom, bada boom, 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 and then you get to the green.
Ideally.
Yeah, right. Hailey got a little bit of stuff in her face here, throwing the Zeus. Turns it over just a bit, but well away from the trees and giving herself a look to get a birdie. Kristin going back to the Grace.
Nice position. She'll be able to see around. I think she'll be able to see around that.
Paige going Zeus again. I like that play left of that big tree. Even though it may leave you a sidearm or a turnover, it just seems like a larger gap, more higher percentage shot.
I like the angle going into the basket better from the left side than on the right side.
Right, because you get a side hill, right,
Yes.
from that right side.
Yes.
Hailey with a tricky approach shot. Well executed inside the circle with a short putt uphill. Kristin throwing her fortress. Pushes it a little bit long. But she does drop in the short grass and will not be obstructed for that putt. Paige with a fierce, parks it. I'm not really running at the basket from there. There's some high branches that would obstruct that line. I'm happy with a par on this just sub 1,000-foot hole. Kristin for birdie.
Plenty of power on that.
And Hailey for birdie. And this, which little acrobatics to get unfortunate roll, but I really liked her little jump there. And gives it a bid here off the left side of the rim. Kristin for par. No harm, no foul. However, Paige will tap this in for the birdie. Along with Maria Oliva and Raven Klein, who also got the birdie on the day. Hailey with that roll away ends up with a bogey.
Hole 8 is 297 feet. It's a par 3. The water carry shouldn't be an issue. This plays just a little further than the distance implies, but I would expect the entire card to have birdie opportunities.
Paige with a fierce. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
It looked so good from the tee, just so straight. It just kept turning and turning as it was trying to fade. It just dropped and leaves her a short tap in for birdie. Kristin utilizing her sidearm, throwing a grace on a pure hyzer line.
Yesterday she had just a spectacular putt on this hole to save her birdie. She
From like circle 2 downhill slope right by the water. I'm throwing a trace. Needed a little bit more angle on that. But I'm inside the circle with an obstructed putt. Hailey with a buzz. Turns it over just a bit. It trickles through those trees outside the circle putt for birdie. Oh, I thought she made that. Got a ceiling. Trying to spin putt. It was close, but no cigar. Kristin from about 15 feet. Cards the birdie. Extending her lead. Paige matching. Hailey and I will take pars. Moving on to the last hole of the front 9, the huge bomber 1220 foot hole.
This is hole 9. As Sarah mentioned, this is 1,220 feet. It is a par 5. There is very little way on this lengthy fairway. There's that one tree that you need to choose whether to go on the inside gap or around the outside. Other than that, on your third shot, you need to decide whether you're going to try to stay to the right side or clear this little creek. There's no water in the creek, but there is an OB line marked on both sides, and there's OB on the right of the cart path as well. The pin is located on a little bit of a sloped incline. It goes up a little bit behind the basket. Makes it feel like it's easier to approach.
Paige with a Zeus. We didn't see any birdies on this in the second round, but Kristin did get the birdie in the first round. So we've had one birdie in maybe 100 plus attempts on this hole. Kristin with a grace. I'm throwing a trace. Hailey with a Zeus. Just before we started this hole, we were watching the men's lead card on coverage. We were all like, we kind of paused the shot and let the card in front of us go a little bit farther ahead in order to kind of watch Ricky secure his win. It's kind of a fun moment.
We were doing the same thing on our card.
With 3 people in the hunt on the last hole, it was pretty exciting. Congrats to Ricky for his... Oh, spoiler. Congrats to Ricky for winning. Hailey pushing a little far right, just by that OB sidewalk, but she is safe by several feet. Kristin with a grace. Paige giving her the perfect sign. It's really been great to have Kristin over here from Estonia. I know that several other Euros, Henna and Evelina in particular, have not gotten to come over to the U.S., and we have been missing them in the ladies division.
We're going to miss Kristin when she goes back to Europe.
Yeah, this is her last event here for this stretch. She's going back for the European Championships. But we do expect to see her back for the Throw Pink Women's Disc Golf Championships. This is a trace on my third shot. Hailey with a Zeus, looking to get over to that left side of the fairway, which is more favorable for the backhand lie.
The wind's playing with that one a little bit.
She got about 100 feet on her birdie look, so it should be a relatively simple par. Kristin, who got the birdie the first round, has a big shot to make, and she kind of turns it over a bit.
It's heading towards the OB.
And Gabe got out of the way just in time, and she is safe. It is so close to the line, but it is safe in bounds, but at circle 2 distance. Paige with a Zeus for a chance at birdie. And she is inside the circle. This is my fourth shot from about 320. And leave it a little bit short outside the circle for my par. This is Hailey from about 100 feet. Looking to just put it under the pin. But just kind of leaves it out a little bit left, leaving her a tester. Although she's been really good from circle 1 as per usual. Kristin laying it up for the par.
Boy, all over the basket today.
Yeah, I'm hoping one of these will drop soon. Paige for birdie. Makes good on it. The only birdie in the field today. Kristin, the only other birdie on the first round. This is just telling you how challenging of a hole this is. Hailey for par. And such an advantage for basically everyone but me on this hole because they can all throw like 100 more feet than I do. So it really makes a difference making that last shot less like shorter or giving yourself an actual putt for the birdie. So definitely the distance is helping on the 12-20 par 5. So lots of color on the scorecard. But Kristin in a just way out in front at -13. The battle, though, for second place is continuing. Hailey, -4. Paige goes 4 birdies in a row to get to -3. There's our leaderboard for the front 9 of the final round of the Preserve Championships. See Katrina Allen punching up there into the top 5.
Kona's also playing well today.
It's going to be a battle. I'm sure Kristin is going to do wonderful on the back 9, but it is a certain battle for number 2 spot. Thanks for joining us on the front 9. Give this video a like and subscribe to GK Pro. We will see you on the back as we finish out this amazing tournament at the Preserve in Clearwater, Minnesota.